If you're new to art or you've been making art for ages, I invite you to right now stop what you're doing and make silly art with me. And let's bring a little joy into the world. Now, I don't know how you're going to start your silly art journey, but making silly art should start with something a bit serious. And for me, that's gotta be fine art. Classical music, this is what it sounds like. Hi, by the way, if we've not met before, I'm Jess, I'm a collage artist, and to be perfectly honest with you, the closest thing to fine art in my house are these fine art prints that I thrifted a while back. I mean, I guess my art might be considered fine art. Oh, I don't know. Like, what's technically the definition of fine art? I don't know if it matters. It doesn't matter. Moving right along. So I'm not going to be in the studio today with a clear idea of what I'm going to do. I'm just going in with some ground rules. Guidelines, if you will.
The code is more what you'd call guidelines than actual rules.
Am I looking at that or am I looking at that? I don't know. Oh my God. I have to pull from this pile of masterpieces. I can't take myself too seriously. And most importantly, I need to have fun. I did still mess up, and you'll see that. But until then, imagine for a minute that things went really well. This is a pile that I've sifted through a few times now, so I'm really familiar with what all the pieces are, and it takes me a little bit of time to actually get any inspiration going. The trick here is, frankly, just don't give up. Keep going. Which, like, when you're not feeling super into it, that can be kind of hard to do, but yeah, just believe in yourself, you know? Like, you have a vision, or no, you don't have a vision. You have the outline of an idea, and that's good enough. That's good enough to get started. And even if it doesn't turn out good, that's fine. There are a few pieces that caught my eye, but the two that I was really gravitating toward at first was this piece by Henri de Toulouse-Lautrec. I'm going to try and say these French names, and if I have any French viewers, you gotta let me know how I do, because I know it's going to be bad. Oh, it's going to be so bad. I took French in college, if you can believe that. Like, I didn't do well, but I did take it. Henri de Toulouse-Lautrec? Was that right? And this piece is called, excuse me while I look at my notes, because I can't with this word. Aristide? Is that how you would say that? Aristide Bruant. That can't be it. That can't be it. I'm gonna Google this.
Reference in French, it is said as Aristide.
Aristide. Friggin' yeah. I mean, I didn't say it right. Okay, let's try this again. Aristide Bruant dans son cabaret. And then I really liked this colorful piece here by, who was it by? Kandinsky. It's called Black Lines number 189. And isn't that just so pretty? Oh, I'm obsessed. I'm obsessed. So I thought for a minute it could be cool if I used this as like the coat, replace the coat, the black coat with this to give that person in the Henri poster like a cool jacket. But that's not very silly, is it? Like, it's, you know, it's cute. It's not terrible. It's not the best idea. Also, I kind of hated the idea of using this piece for something where it wouldn't really be the star of the show. I almost want to frame it and like put it in my house and not try to do anything with it. On the other hand, what if I could make it into something cool? I don't know. So anyway, I set that idea to the side for the moment, and I set to work doing a face replace. I pulled out this waterbird book, and I thought it would be a good place to go for like a bird head that has a lot of gravitas. You know, birds, waterfowl tend to have like really cool body shapes and noses, and not noses, beaks, whatever. And I thought I remembered that this book had some fairly large bird heads that would probably fit scale-wise with this figure. And I wasn't disappointed because I absolutely did find a super cool bird head with this awesome bill that I kind of thought would curve nicely around the shape of the body. And he's such a cute little guy, right? Then I pulled out my cutting mat and I started to trim out the face. I could have just cut around the top of the head where it hits the hat, the ear, and the collar. Basically just create a slit for the bird head to come through. It would have covered the face, but I hate to waste pieces, and there is a part of me that thought maybe I could use this somewhere. I don't know. I am kind of a hoarder, so the main problem will be not losing this little face, which, I mean, I'll probably lose it. In any case, I slipped the bird head in and it was not a perfect fit. But that's cool, that's okay. That is what take 2 is for. Now, I have 2 options here, right? I could cut around the scarf and that would allow the head to sit sort of behind and nestled in the scarf a little bit more. Or I could cut just along the hat and have the head like just farther up in the hat area. And I mean, there's not really any strong reason why I chose to cut around the hat instead of the scarf. I think either could have worked and maybe one of them would have looked better, but sometimes you just make decisions and do things and you just get what you get and you don't throw no fits, you know? I also start thinking about the original artwork here and the way that it kind of has these outlines. So it's very graphic in its style, which doesn't exactly match well with the photorealistic, actually real bird. So I tested out using a paint pen, not a paint pen. So I tested out using a ink brush to see if I couldn't like outline the bird a little and see if that helped kind of make it fit a little bit more with the original artwork. I do like this, and because I've gotten a little bit wiser in my studio, I do know that if I try to start outlining the bird head now, get way too impatient, start futzing around with it, the ink will get all over my fingers and smudge, and then I'll get ink on other things, and it would have turned into a big mess. But it didn't because I'm wiser now, so much wiser. And I didn't do that to myself. Thank goodness. Now, I did still mess up, and you'll see that. But until then, imagine for a minute that things went really well. And I had no issues. Going back to the problem of the coat, with no other ideas coming to me, I start packing up my desk to give myself more room to work and to think. Alas, it would seem I've gotten as far as my whimsy can go. Wait. Oh, wait. Is that a bird eating a man's liver? Is that not just the perfect thing a bird would have on his cool coat? I mean... So while I'm cutting out this coat, let's talk about these artworks. The subject of this piece, by Henri's super French last name, is Aristide Bruant. She and Henri were friends, and she managed a cabaret. She commissioned these posters in 1893. So my source here says that she hoped that the posters would have a strong impact on the public, which kind of doesn't mean anything to me. I don't know what that is. Honestly, it sounds like a fancy way to say she was trying to market her business. If anyone else knows of another potential interpretation, let me know in the comments. I don't know, that's what I think. The second artwork is titled Prometheus Bound, and it was painted by Peter Paul Rubens, circa 1611 to 1612. He completed this painting in collaboration with Franz Snyders, who rendered the eagle. This painting is based on a Greek play by the same title, and it depicts the demise of Prometheus. See, after he helped the Olympians defeat the Titans, he got the rawest of raw deals when Zeus got jelly over his popularity among mortals. See, Prometheus gave us the arts and fire, although Zeus was mostly mad about the fire. But when you think about it, art is pretty fire, so... What do I do with my arms? So anyways, Zeus ordered Prometheus be chained to a cliff. Worse still, each day an eagle stops by for a delicious lunch of regenerated Prometheus liver. Liver? Doesn't that sort of remind you of like lab-grown meat? Like imagine there's a restaurant called Prometheus and all it serves is lab-grown liver. I think I'd go there. And maybe all the cocktails are like Greek goddesses and gods' names, but just liver. What kind of liver? All kinds of liver. I mean, like, you know, you could do liver pate. That's a French thing, isn't it? Am I making that up? I don't know. Okay, guys, so like, here's where disaster struck. I wasn't really sure how to glue this down. And I applied glue in the wrong spot. You can see there it's curling up because of the moisture from the glue. And the type of paper can make a big difference on how it reacts to the glue. And even though I've used these prints before in the past, I kind of forgot how reactive they are. So it started curling and the panic set in. It's not ideal, but you can just, when these kinds of things happen, you just got to keep going and hope for the best. What I should have probably done was started just by going around the edges of the coat on the back side and then pasted that down and then like kind of lifted it and glued it the rest of the way wherever it looked like the two pieces of paper were going to touch. But yeah, clearly I didn't really think this through. Glue got everywhere and it was a bit of a mess. After things were a bit more, let's go with settled, I trimmed off these corners sticking out at odd angles and then I glued the whole thing all over again and pasted it down on some backing paper. This step was purely because of that earlier gluing mistake. I just needed to like put it on something so that that corner would stop curling and it could stick to something. I didn't just want to like leave it, I guess, is what I'm saying. It's looking all right, but it's not quite done yet. The last step is to smash it down with this lovely weighty book. That's gonna press the whole piece down while it dries, so we don't have it curling up from the moisture of the glue. I specifically chose a book with a cover that is kind of slick, glossy. If any of the glue kind of squeezes out, I don't think it'll stick to this. While that dries, I want to say thanks so much for hanging out with me in the studio. If you want to further support my work and these videos, I recently qualified for YouTube membership. I'll talk more about it in a future video, but for now, I just want to say a few things. Any money made from memberships will go exclusively toward making these videos better. Better lighting, more ephemera, things like that. I really believe that art is for everyone, and all of my videos are going to be posted for everyone to watch and to see me struggle. But honestly, just the fact that you tune in and lend me your ears is amazing and beyond anything I thought possible. So truly, thank you. All right, are you ready? Here she is. Look, you can see like how much moisture there was from all that glue. So much moisture. Anyway, it looks fine. It's fun. Is this the silly sweet spot? I mean, it is for me. I love the idea that someone might like kind of catch this out of the corner of their eye and recognize it as sort of looking like Henri's painting, right? But then you might get closer and say like, ooh, that's a bird head, and look at that cheeky eagle sneaking a sneaky snack. I don't know. I think it's funny. I love collage so much because I think that it has such a low barrier to entry, but it offers endless opportunities to be creative. I mean, this was the way that I chose to be silly in my artwork, but I would love to hear how you're creating silly art in your studio. And if you like this video and want to hang out with me a little longer in the studio, then check this video out. Okay, I think that's it. Bye! See ya! Bye! Oh, too much boop. And for me, if you're new to art, I put on makeup today, and I feel like I look weird. Oh, is one of those takes any good? I don't know.